so we're gonna do the fish on top of the rice. And our glaze. Hello! Welcome to another episode of Cooking on the Food Truck. I am Chef Brandon. Today we are going to cook a Mandarin Mahi Mahi dish. We're going to start with a homemade blackening seasoning, which I'll show you how to make. We're going to glaze it with honey and mandarin. I used to be able to juggle, let's see. No! We put it over a bed of mixed wild rice. With the sauce poured on top. It's going to be lovely and beautiful. But to start with, we are going to get some fresh herbs from Kim's herb garden. So we're going to get some oregano and thyme for the blackening seasoning. Let's go out there first. Look, my daughter's in the video this time, Isla Rose and Kim. This is Kim's herb garden. What are we working on today, Kim?
Gonna snip some oregano and thyme for the mahi sauce. This is my Italian oregano, and I have a Greek oregano over behind us on the other side. We're just snipping them from the bottom again. That's my little helper here. She's smelling all the good stuff. Would you hold that for me, please? Thank you very much. And we need a little bit more of these stems of thyme.
So we are going to strip the leaves off the stems of this thyme. Pick some of these awesome oregano leaves. Straight down. That's going to be plenty. We'll also chop that now. So let me get my knife. I'm just going to plow through these a little bit. We also have these awesome dried cayennes from last year's garden. We have dried these. I'm gonna put Kim on the spot. Kim, how'd you do this?
I washed them.
There, I'll film you. Go.
I washed them, of course, and then I spread them out on a parchment paper, on a baking sheet, and I had the oven on like the lowest, very low setting just for a little, and then I just left them in there to dry after I turned it off. Okay, that evaporates the moisture. Then you can let them sit out in your kitchen for a few days until they're crackly and dry.
We're just gonna take the tops off these. We're gonna put these in this spice grinder. And we're gonna let it go. Cayenne, ready. Look at that. See? Dried cayenne. She arrived! She's here. All right, Isla Rose, you're gonna mix this. This seasoning is heavy on paprika, so we're gonna start with paprika and confuse you. She got it. Paprika, right? Cayenne pepper. There you go. Beautiful. Cayenne pepper. Okay. Now, equal parts garlic powder and onion powder. There you go. And she grabbed the garlic powder first. I love it. Oregano and thyme. Salt and pepper. All right. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of that in there. Beautiful. Whisk all that together. That is our blackening seasoning. You can, of course, tone down the cayenne if you want a little bit less spice. Good job. There we use 2 mandarin oranges. The juice from 2 mandarin oranges. And 4 tablespoons of yummy sourwood honey from the Blue Ridge Honey Company up in Lakemont, Georgia. Blackening seasoning that Isla Rose whisked together for us. We're just gonna about a tablespoon of olive oil. Good. And we're gonna whisk this together. We are making a lot of this glaze because it's also going to be the sauce at the end. We're gonna start with a beautiful piece of Mahi Mahi. Okay, I already patted it dry. You want to pat it dry with some paper towel. We're going to use some of this blackening seasoning, blackening rub over the fish. Beautiful. That's great. Skin. We're going to add our glaze to this fish. Okay. Be careful, you do not want to contaminate this with the fish. So we can use this to glaze it, both sides. But we are not letting this stuff touch any bit of fish because we're going to use that as sauce later, and we really just heat it for the sauce. It just takes a minute, so we cannot contaminate that glaze. We want to reserve a lot of that glaze for the sauce later. Just giving that a nice glaze. Good. Now we're going to cut it. We're going to make a slice there. Cut. We'll cut a nice middle section. And we'll give Duke a nice little piece of fish. We'll work on the rice. Every rice is different. This one calls for 1.5 cups of water to 1 cup rice. Just gonna add some salt with pepper to the boiling water and about a tablespoon of butter. We're gonna keep this down now. For this, I did 3 cups of water. I'm going to do 2 cups of this wild rice mix. Stir that in. Butter melted. Cover 15 minutes. While that's going, get the fish going. We're going to throw this into our pan. I've got this over medium-high heat. Medium-high heat in the pan. We do not need to oil these or the pan because the glaze had that olive oil in it. We're just going to place these in the hot pan. Skin side down. Non-stick pan. There we go. Oh yeah, and the dog's piece. He's a fancy dog. 3 minutes or so on each side. Get a nice blackened crust. Let's flip these back over. Beautiful, they are ready to plate. Come off the heat. I'm going to take the rest of the glaze we used that I told you to reserve earlier. We're going to put it in the pan. I'm going to warm this and reduce it just a little bit. This also helps deglaze the pan. Alright? So we're just making the rest of that leftover glaze into the sauce. So we're ready to plate. Plate's going. You take a cup like this. Kind of mash it down a little bit. Then pop that right in the middle. Two. Mash it down a little bit. Boom, right in the middle. It stays together, nice form. Alright, we're going to take our fish. And lay it right over the rice. And then we are going to take our glaze and let that glaze, I like to get a little bit in the rice too. Let it pour down. Glaze, stuff in the rice. And it pour down. Good. We got 2 little pieces of orange. And I cut Add a little bit of oregano. Garnish on top. Good. That's our beautiful mandarin orange mahi mahi. So thank you very much for joining us here again on another episode of Cooking on the Food Truck with Chef Brandon and Kim. See you next time.